I have been sleeping with my biological dad since I was 17. Story time. Alright, my people, it's the story of a young woman who has shared that she has been sleeping with her biological dad since the age 17 years till now. Even she was married right now and she is still doing it with the father. It's really crazy, yes. So without much ado, let's dive into this young woman story. I have been sleeping with my biological dad since I was 17 years old. I'm now approaching 30, married and still sleep with him. I was raised by my dad alone. I never knew my mom. Apparently, she died during childbirth when she was having me. My dad always used to tell me that I look like my mom, and I could tell from her pictures that he showed me. Growing up and being raised by a single dad was very tough. My dad is the straight type. I wasn't allowed to have friends and all that. Just me and my books. He was overly protective of me. One day, everything changed when I had my first period. I was scared and I didn't know what to do. As my dad has never really discussed such thing with me, it was then that he discovered that I was growing up and began to change. I had my first period when I was 14. At first, everything was cool. Then he began to make some weird requests, like I should show him my V, because I'm menstruating now and he want to make sure everything is okay down there. He began to see my boobs, telling me he was expecting for any deformity since they are now growing. I wasn't really bothered about it because it was my dad and I didn't see anything wrong. Fast forward, I was now 17 and I had completed senior high school fresh. I was home all day, all by myself. I had a few friends but wasn't allowed to go out or anything. I only saw my friends at church. One day, I was on my period and I was having severe cramps. So my dad returned from work and saw me sobbing. I was in pains and he told me this: change up and take a bath. I will never forget those words. So I went ahead to take my bath and headed to my room. I didn't even bother to dress up. I was just in my towel lying in bed because the pains were still there. My dad came to the room and he came to sit beside my bed. Next thing, he began to touch my thighs and my boobs. I didn't understand what was going on and why he forced himself on me that evening. Just imagine I was raped during my period that night. Really? I couldn't believe what had just happened. I don't even remember how I managed to sleep it off. The following morning came and my dad was acting so overly nice. I remember that day. It was weekend. He took me out and went for shopping and all that. He told me to keep what had happened the previous day to ourselves.
Hey! What kind of world is this?
Mind you, I was scared of my dad because of how I was raised and I couldn't tell anyone.
I never expected it.
Who was I even going to tell? I didn't have a trusted friend nor any relative I was cool with. And because of the way my dad became so overly nice all of a sudden, it drew me closer to him more. Surprisingly, I didn't really bother about the fact that he had raped me.
Aha. Somebody say aha.
He was the first man to have been intimate with me. Things took a wrong turn. We continued to have sex. I have developed feelings for my dad now.
Aha. Somebody say aha.
It got to some point we had sex every day of the week. I became so addicted to him. For this reason, my dad didn't allow me to purchase university form for that year. I had basically became his sex mate and he didn't want me to go to school. During that same period, I got pregnant and that was the first of multiple abortions I had for him. The whole abortion thing was another painful event on its own. I don't even want to talk about it. I went to the university the following year. That's when I met my first boyfriend. Honestly, for some weird reasons, I didn't enjoy having sex with him. I had become so addicted to my dad, and I could leave school for homes to spend the weekends and have constant sex with my dad.
I'm not here speaking out. As I'm not here, you speaking out.
He was the only man who could satisfy my sexual needs. Hey,
You are saying it.
we did all the naughty stuffs you could ever imagine. I dated a number of guys during my uni period, but I still slept with my dad all along. One of my boyfriends then became suspicious of us, but I always brush it off, saying I'm daddy's girl, so I'm close with him. So within the 4 years in uni, I did 2 abortions and 3 for him. Oh God, I'm even shaking while tapping this. After school, I was dating a certain guy and my dad got to find out. That day, he slapped and beat me and even forced anal sex. He said it was punishment for dating another man. The sex intense. It got to some point we had sex in his office. I became pregnant for the fourth time. At that point, I was fed up with the abortions and wanted to pin it on my then boyfriend. During that time too, our relationship was shaky because I was trying to avoid him since I was scared of my dad. I tried to make him sleep with me, but for some reasons we didn't, meaning I had to abort once again. I broke up with him afterwards. This period was very hard for me. I had started service and I was lucky to gain employment immediately afterwards. I bounced men left and right. I had made enough money to move out, but I still lived with him because of the sex I enjoyed.
It's about to go down.
I stayed with my dad for a while when I started working. Our neighbors became a bit suspicious of us because we are really close together, and I think one of them even saw us kissing one time. It was best I leave so we don't get caught. I decided to leave the house and rent elsewhere. Because of that, the sex with my dad reduced a bit. I only went to his place during some weekends, but we used to have sex video calls and masturbate together. At this point, I was so much into my dad that I didn't want to date any man again or even sleep with any man. It was during this period I met my husband. Funny thing is, I met him in a car when returning home from one of my sexual escapades with my dad. He paid for my fare and we took it from there. We became friends. He was a good man and I enjoyed his ride too. Things were cool between us and one day he asked me to be his girlfriend. Honestly, I didn't want to date him, didn't want to lose the friendship either. So after thinking about it for some days, I accepted the proposal. But I lied to him that I don't want to have sex before marriage and that I will keep myself until my husband comes. He was cool with it because apparently he was a virgin himself. We began to date. The only intimacy we had was to kiss. Meanwhile, I was still sleeping with my dad. I had to stop the sex video calls with my dad because I was scared he might go through my phone and see evidence of it. I mean, having long video calls constantly with my dad at all hours. My dad got to know I was dating again and he was angry at me. I told him yes, I was dating, but I wasn't sleeping with my boyfriend. That night, we had a heated argument. It was as if he saw me cheating on him. Again, he beat me up and forced anal sex on me. I can say that he raped me that evening because I wasn't in the mood for sex. And I had a black eye. I had to lie to my boyfriend I had gotten a polo so he doesn't get suspicious. I got angry with my dad and the sex stopped for some time. I wasn't answering his calls too, nor was I visiting him. One day, I got so horny that I needed a man to satisfy me. So I went there and requested for sex. We had sex the entire night, like two lovers who had missed each other. So then again, the sex resumed, but he got to understand that I had a boyfriend. He was cool with it now. All this while, I made excuses to my boyfriend that my dad wasn't feeling well, so I could see him often to have sex.
God have mercy upon us.
To be honest, I saw my boyfriend as a brother. He was a good man. He treated me well, but I wasn't attracted to him. I enjoy his friendship and companionship. He used to tell his friends about me. He told them about the good girl that I am modest. I'm keeping myself for my future husband. I really felt sorry for him. He didn't know what was happening between my dad and I, but I don't blame him
Are you playing? What type of plane is this? This is playing.
because I look really innocent. My boyfriend got to meet my dad and eventually asked for my hand in marriage.
I never expected it.
But I had a plan to deceive my husband to tell him why I am not down there when we eventually had sex after marriage. I would tell him that I was a sports girl back in senior high school and because of the vigorous activities, my hymen was stretched. Of course, he would believe me. He really trusted me that much and he was a bit naive too about this sex thing. So we got married. My plan worked. My husband never got suspicious. But honestly, I never ever enjoy sex with him, no matter how he tries. But why bother because my dad is always around to satisfy me. I have been pregnant for 3 times and they all have been miscarriages. My first pregnancy, I honestly wasn't sure who was responsible, whether my husband or my dad. Although I lost the baby, some part of me was glad. Fast forward to present day, my husband suspects nothing. The last time I slept with my dad was a month ago. I do all my duties as a responsible wife. He is a good man. The only thing is I'm addicted to sex with my dad.
Hey! What kind of world is this?
And I can't stop. I don't blame my dad. I don't blame anyone. Because sometimes I even request for the sex myself. I will continue marry my husband. He is a good man and I hope I can give him kiss one day. This is my confession. Guys, I'm speechless. What do you think? What do you have to say about this? What are your opinions? Just let it be in the comment section. See you in my next video.